the first thing you hear is the crack of the gunshot, sharp enough to split the night in two. Then the scream, high, terrified, belonging to a little girl who should never have known that sound. You're already leaning forward, heart in your throat, because you know this isn't fiction. This is the moment everything changes. This is the moment a stranger becomes a hero, a single dad becomes a legend, and two broken families find the glue that holds them together forever. If that doesn't make you hit the like button right now, wait until you see what happens next. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it, bell on, because this story is going to wreck you in the best way possible. His name was Marcus Reed, 34 years old, calloused hands, tired eyes, and a daughter named Lily who still believed dandelions could grant wishes. Marcus woke up every morning at 4:47 a.m. to the smell of burnt coffee and the sound of his ancient alarm clock screaming like it hated him personally. He worked security at the downtown convention center, 12-hour shifts, minimum wage plus overtime if the event ran long. He wore the same black polo every day, the one with the tiny hole near the hem that Lily had tried to sew shut with purple thread. "Daddy, purple makes it magic," she'd said. He never had the heart to tell her the shirt was still just a shirt. Across the city, in a glass penthouse that reflected the skyline like a mirror, lived 8-year-old Sophia Langford. Her father, Alexander Langford, was the CEO of Langford Tech, billion-dollar contracts, private jets, and a smile that could sell ice to penguins. Sophia's world was tutors and ballet lessons and a bedroom bigger than Marcus's entire apartment. But the one thing money couldn't buy her was time with her dad. Alexander was always in a meeting, always on a call, always promising, "Tomorrow, Soph, I swear." Tomorrow never came. The night it all collided started like any other Thursday. Langford Tech was hosting its annual gala at the convention center, black ties, champagne flutes, speeches about innovation and the future. Marcus was stationed at the east entrance, checking badges, joking with the caterers, keeping an eye on the crowd. Lily was at home with Mrs. Alvarez from 2B, who charged $15 an hour and let Lily watch cartoons until her eyes went square. Sophia was there because her father had insisted. "Bring your daughter to work day, but make it fancy," the PR team had pitched. She wore a navy velvet dress with a satin bow and patent shoes that pinched her toes. She stood beside Alexander while he shook hands and laughed too loud, clutching a stuffed giraffe named Mr. Longneck because new places made her stomach flutter like trapped butterflies. Marcus noticed her first because she was the only kid in a sea of adults. She kept tugging at her dad's sleeve, whispering, "Can we go home soon?" Alexander didn't hear her over the networking. Marcus did. He crouched down, eye level, and said, "Hey, princess, you holding down the fort for your dad?" Sophia nodded, clutching Mr. Longneck tighter. "He's busy saving the world," she said, repeating the line she'd heard 1,000 times. Marcus smiled, the kind that reached his eyes. "World's overrated. You want a cookie from the staff table?" "I won't tell." That was the first thread. A cookie. A smile. A moment neither of them knew would matter. The second thread came 20 minutes later when the lights flickered. Just once. Then again. The crowd murmured. Marcus's radio crackled, static, then a voice, "Code Black, East Wing, possible active shooter." His blood turned to ice. He'd trained for this. He'd prayed he'd never have to use it. He moved on instinct, weaving through the panicked crowd, eyes scanning for the little girl in the navy dress. He found her near the dessert table, frozen, Mr. Longneck dangling from one hand. Alexander was nowhere. Marcus scooped her up without thinking. "You're with me, okay? You're safe." She buried her face in his shoulder, trusting him because kids trust the people who sound like they mean it. They made it halfway to the service corridor when the shooter emerged, black hoodie, shaking hands, eyes wild with whatever poison had convinced him this was justice. He raised the gun. The crowd screamed. Time slowed. Marcus saw the red dot dance across Sophia's back. He didn't think. He just moved. He spun, shielding her with his body, and the bullet meant for a billionaire's daughter tore through a single dad's chest instead. The impact was a sledgehammer. He went down hard, Sophia tumbling from his arms but unharmed. Security tackled the shooter seconds later. Sirens wailed. Someone was screaming Marcus's name, but he couldn't tell who. Sophia crawled to him, tears streaking her face. Mister, don't close your eyes. She pressed Mr. Longneck to the wound like a bandage. You said I was safe. Marcus managed a crooked smile. You are, kid. You are. Then everything went black. He woke up 3 days later to the beep of machines and the smell of antiseptic. His first coherent thought was Lily. His second was pain, white-hot, relentless. The nurse told him he'd lost a lung, shattered 2 ribs, and flatlined twice. You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Reed. Lucky. Right. The news exploded. Hero security guard saves CEO's daughter. Grainy security footage looped on every channel, Marcus spinning, the flash of the muzzle, Sophia's tiny body shielded by his. Hashtag Marcus Reed trended for a week. GoFundMe pages popped up overnight. Strangers sent teddy bears to the hospital. Lily sat by his bed every day after school, reading him chapters from Charlotte's Web in her squeaky 7-year-old voice. Alexander Langford arrived on day 5 with a security detail and a face like he hadn't slept since the shooting. He stood in the doorway, clutching a manila folder, looking smaller than a billionaire had any right to. Mr. Reed, he started, voice cracking. There are no words. Marcus waved him off with the arm that wasn't in a sling. Just tell me the kid's okay. She asks about you every day. Calls you her guardian angel. Alexander swallowed. I was on the phone when it happened. On the goddamn phone. If you hadn't. Stop. Marcus's voice was gravel. I have a daughter too. I know what it's like to be scared someone's gonna take her from you. I did what any dad would do. Alexander's eyes filled. He opened the folder. Langford Tech is covering all your medical bills. And we're setting up a trust for Lily, college, whatever she needs. It's not enough, but... Marcus laughed, then winced. You think I want your money? Keep it. Just, spend time with your kid. That's the bill. Alexander nodded, tears slipping free. I will. I swear. Recovery was brutal. 6 months of physical therapy, nightmares where the bullet hit Lily instead, phantom pain that woke him gasping at 3 a.m. The convention center offered him his job back, but crowds made his hands shake now. He took a groundskeeping gig at a community college instead, quiet, outdoors, no one shooting at children. Sophia visited every Saturday with her dad. The first time, she brought a card covered in glitter and stickers. Asterisk thank you for saving me, Mr. Marcus. Love, Soph. Asterisk she'd drawn them holding hands under a rainbow. Marcus hung it on his fridge next to Lily's finger paintings. The girls clicked instantly. Lily, bold and fearless, taught Sophia how to climb trees. Sophia, quiet and thoughtful, taught Lily how to read the big words in Harry Potter. They became sisters in every way that mattered. Alexander kept his promise. He sold the private jet, cut his work hours, learned how to braid Sophia's hair, badly, but trying. He and Marcus met for coffee every other Thursday, 2 dads who'd stared down the worst day of their lives and come out the other side. 1 year after the shooting, Marcus got a letter. Inside was a plane ticket to Hawaii and a note from Alexander. Asterisk you gave me my daughter back. Let me give you a week with yours, asterisk they went, Marcus, Lily, Sophia, Alexander. For mismatched puzzle pieces that somehow fit. They built sandcastles and chased waves and ate shave ice until their tongues turned blue. Marcus watched Lily laugh so hard she fell over and thought, this. This is what I took a bullet for, But heroes don't get fairy tale endings without a few more storms. 2 years post-shooting, Marcus's remaining lungs started failing. Scar tissue, the doctors said. Transplant list. Years of waiting. The trust fund helped, but organs don't care about money. Lily stopped blowing out dandelions. They don't work anymore, Daddy. Sophia, now 10, overheard her father on the phone with specialists in Switzerland, Boston, anywhere with a chance. Alexander liquidated stocks, called in favors, pulled every string his billions could reach. Nothing moved the list. Then came the call that changed everything again. A match. A deceased donor. A miracle. The surgery was risky, Marcus's body had been through too much. Lily held vigil in the waiting room, clutching Mr. Longneck. Sophia had gifted it to her, for luck. Alexander paced. Sophia prayed to every god she'd ever heard of. 12 hours later, the surgeon emerged. He's stable. It worked. Marcus woke up to Lily's face, tear-streaked but smiling. You came back again, Daddy. He ruffled her hair with a hand that didn't shake anymore. Told you. Guardian angels don't quit. 5 years after the bullet, the two families stood together on a stage at the community college commencement. Lily, valedictorian, adjusted her cap and grinned at the crowd. Sophia, her sister from another mister, sat in the front row holding a sign, "We did it, Dad." Marcus watched from the wings, breathing easy for the first time in years. Alexander clapped him on the shoulder. You know she's going to MIT because of you. Nah, Marcus said. She's going because she's stubborn as hell. I just taught her how to fall and get back up. Lily's speech was short but seismic. She told the story, our story. The cookie. The bullet. The borrowed lung and the borrowed family. She ended with this. My dad taught me that heroes aren't born. They're built, one choice at a time. He chose to shield a stranger's daughter with his body. That stranger's daughter chose to share her family with us. And together, we chose to keep choosing each other. So class of 2030, whatever you face, choose. Choose kindness. Choose courage. Choose love, even when it hurts. Because that's how you save the world. The audience rose as one. Marcus cried. Alexander cried. Sophia and Lily ran to them, and the four of them hugged in a tangle of limbs and graduation gowns and 15 years of borrowed time. The camera pans out now. You're still here, aren't you? Good. Because this isn't where it ends. Marcus and Alexander started the Guardian Fund, scholarships for kids of first responders, counseling for trauma survivors, self-defense classes taught by the man who once took a bullet and lived to tell about it. Lily and Sophia run the youth board. They're 20 now, unstoppable, planning to change the world one dandelion wish at a time. And every year, on the anniversary of the shooting, the four of them go back to the convention center. They stand where it happened. They leave a single purple flower, Lily's favorite color. They don't speak. They just hold hands. Because some stories don't need words. Some heroes don't need capes. And some families aren't born, they're forged in fire, tempered by grace, and held together by a promise whispered in the dark. You're safe, If this story moved you, and I know it did, smash that like button. Share it with someone who needs to remember that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. Subscribe and hit the bell because next week, we're telling the story of the nurse who saved Marcus's life that night, and the secret she's kept for 15 years. You're safe here. Keep choosing love. See you in the next one.